yenu. Hongereni sana sana sana. Kwa kuzingatia kazi zenu nzuri mnazozifanya, nataka niwahakikishie kuwa serikali zetu mbili zitashirikiana nanyi sio tu katika kukuza fani yenu ya uhasibu, lakini pia kuwawezesha kutimiza malengo yenu mliojiwekea. Wito wangu kwenu, endeleeni kufanya kazi kwa bidii, maarifa, weledi na ubunifu wa hali ya juu, na katika hili na wasihi sana msibweke mlioyapata.
Okay, and gentlemen,
kila wakati jitahidini kuweka.
Naomba tulioko hapo nje tuingie ndani tafadhali, tutapiga picha baadaye, tuko nyuma ya wakati. Naomba tuheshimu hili, tuheshimu muda wetu tuliojiwekea wenyewe. Please, ukifika hapo nje naomba uingie ndani, alafu picha tutapiga baadaye. Hayo mabango yatakuwepo, ni ya kwetu. So please take your seat as we are getting ready to start our session. And yeah, mwambie na mwenzako ambaye hajafika, mwambie come, we are about to start. Mimi najua wahasibu ni watu wa compliance, so they won't. Yes, Joy, nisaidie hao waliosimama hapo nje waingie. Yeah, while we are getting ready to start our session, good morning everyone. I hope you had a great night and you are ready to get a new to keep learning. Najua uko tayari kujifunza vitu vipya. I just want, while we are opening, I would like to do a kind of, it's not a very serious recap, but I would love to share a little bit what we were learning yesterday. And we are so thankful to our as presenters of yesterday's sessions. We are very grateful to the guest of Hannah. She actually spoke a lot of things with us, and she actually given us an assignment to do as a women accountant, and we tumelichukua alilotukabidhi, and then at the end of the day we will come up with a plan. But I want to appreciate yesterday's sessions and the takeaway that yesterday we were discussing a lot of things, but few things that I would love to put down. We actually learned on you have to create your source of income, multi-source of income. Don't just depend on what you have as a salary. In short, endelea kutafuta na kutafuta. Don't feel like you are so successful. Even rich people, they are still searching for opportunities. So, and when we are speaking about that, we also spoke about we as women, we need to keep learning every day. So kila siku lazima you have to ask your mind, do you have anything new? Do you have anything ambacho umejifunza? If you are, umemaliza the whole month and you don't have any concept, any new thing that you may learn, just remember what we are told yesterday, which means you are dying. Do you want to die? No. So make sure tunakuwa ni watu ambao tunajifunza, read books, feed your mind with positivity, feed your mind with, healthier food. Ukijifeed your mind na vitu ambavyo they are not healthier, you are actually destroying yourself. And also I just want to remind you that kick out the fear in your life. Make sure hauna hofu. When you want to make a decision, make sure the person who think critically and make a decision as well. So you have to make a decision. And if you cannot make a decision, we were told that we won't be able to progress. So make sure unakuwa ni mtu ambaye unaweza ukameki decision ili uweze kuendelea mbele. There's no life if you can't make decisions. Unataka kutegemea kila kitu mtu akufanyie decision. Sometime we were told, yes, you have something God has given to you and you want someone to make a decision who I mean, the person whom he don't or she don't see the value of what you are thinking, because you are the one who have the vision. So you should be able also to make a decision and take risks when you want to progress in life. There is no success if you don't take risk. And unless otherwise iwe ni success ya kurithi. We were told also to network with the right people. Tulisema yesterday tuliambiwa, if you have any person that you are hanging out with her and she's always feeding you negativity, she's not a good person to you. It was the time to take a decision that I need a person who will be with me, who will support my journey, who will support my success. You don't need to hold a person who is pulling you back. That is what we learned yesterday. Na naamini kila mmoja wetu, when you go home, you have a new chapter of your life and you have new plans. Tuliambiwa go through your phone book and check what kind of people you have in your phone book. Are they important to you? Are they destroying you? Yuna sababu ya kushikilia mtu ambaye anakurudisha nyuma. That is what we actually learned yesterday. And then also creative behavior. That is what we said yesterday. Na tukaambiwa, don't be negative on yourself. You will say, unajua, I can't. Yani, siwezi. No, we want to be wanawake ambao tuna nguvu na tuna uwezo. And success starts with your own confirmation that I am a successful person. I can do this. If you start with I can't, which means success haiwezi kukufuata wakati wewe mwenyewe umesema I can't. For those who are believer, whether you are Christian, whether you are Muslim, ukimwambia Mungu, unaenda kwa Mungu unasema mimi siwezi, Mungu hawezi akakupatia kitu ambacho wewe mwenyewe hauko tayari. Kwa hiyo anakupa kitu ambacho you know you are ready and you can handle it. That is what God will give you. If you think you deserve where you are and you don't need to progress, and God will bless you where you are. And also empower each other. That's what we were told yesterday. So we are told to challenge yourself. That is what we actually learned yesterday. So kwa kuanza session yetu, while I will be welcoming the speaker of today, allow me also welcome Dr. Nema to actually speak a little bit while ninazungumza na speaker wangu wa leo, tuweze kumintroduce, nimlete kwa karibu. Karibu Dr.
Tawca, mbona kinyonge sana? Tawca, karibuni sana. Habarini za asubuhi. Basi sina mengi ya kusema, ngoja tuwalete speaker wetu ili tuweze kuanza ya leo. Ni kukumbushana, mimi nikisimama nasema ni kukumbushana subscription, lakini pia ni kukumbushana kwamba mwakani tutakuwa Mbeya. Tujipange mapema ili tufike kwa wingi kama sasa hivi, na Wambea wamesema kuna vivutio vingi, kuna Rungwe National Park, kuna Katavi, kuna Lake Nyasa. Kwenye grupu mtuambie mnataka kwenda wapi, na sisi kazi yetu ni kuwapeleka. Karibuni sana. Capacity building training, executive coaching to various leaders in corporates, public enterprises, and civil service. And she has supported change management processes and created value to various organizations and shareholders and various stakeholders. Mama Zuhura Muro is the current managing director at Lindam Group Limited. Karibu sana mama, tukusikilize, tuko tayari kabisa. Tunakusubiri tangu jana. Karibu Mama Zuhura. Makofi kwa mama wakati anakuja. Kale ka wimbo leo kako wapi?
Oh mama, mama huyo. Mama, mama. Mama huyo. Ngoja nikufundishe wimbo mwingine. Wewe ni nani mwenzangu? Mimi ni mama. Wewe
unaweza ukasimama wakajichangamsha kwa muda, alafu wakaja mbele kabisa. Karibuni mbele. Dada Agnes, karibuni mbele. Kuna nafasi kubwa ya kucheza na Mama Zura kabla hajaanza.
Neema ni nani mwenzangu? Neema ni nani mwenzangu? Ni mama taifa, taifa linanitegemea. Watoto wana mimi ni mama taifa, watoto nanitegemea. Mimi ni mama. DJ ni nani mwenzetu? Yeye ni baba. DJ ni nani mwenzetu? Yeye ni taifa, taifa lina watoto wana yeye ni baba. Taifa linanitegemea, watoto wananitegemea, mimi ni mama.
Karibu mama.
Okay. Mama oye! Tawca oye! Wanawake wa hasibu hoye! Habari za asubuhi. Hamjambo?
Hatujambo.
Hamjambo? Jamhuri ya Muungano. Bwana, sauti hazitoshi. Jamhuri ya Muungano,
kazi endelee.
Tunajua anayeongoza
Ndio.
Yeah, basi tupige makofi. Kwanza, I just want to commend the leadership of Tawca, because what I'm witnessing, it's an incredible development of a network of professionals. And this is not coming out of the air. And it gives me a lot of comfort, because in women leadership, we talk about having a strong foundation on which you stand. Tawca is not standing on air. It is standing on a very strong foundation. Shoulders of women professionals who know and know who they are, and they are doing it big. Hongereni sana. Why am I saying this? I was there at the Genesis. I pledged my support to this professional network. I'm not a CPA holder, but I saw something in this network, unique. And how did I come to see something unique? And this network has to grow and grow and grow and surpass your even wildest expectation. It's because it came at the heels of my talk in Kenya, when the women who are certified accountants invited me to speak to them in Mombasa. And that was the story. And the story started. And that story started from a very, very good foundation of dedicated women who wanted to make a difference. I read your conference brochure, and I said, what am I going to say? Because I've seen so many conference brochures, but I can tell you your conference brochure is a result of a thought leadership. It is a testimony of people who have thought process, which is a growth-oriented attitude thought process. What more can you say about leading without title when you have people who are able to mobilize and bring people together to a conversation that is not a conversation of trivial issues. It is not a conversation of talking about personalities. It is a conversation of saying, what is our value as women? What is our contribution as women? What are we adding to our nation as women? What is our force as women? And that is a phenomenal conversation. And such phenomenal conversation, it's what defines a leader without title. So the principle number one for a leader without title, it is your ability to recognize contribution and applaud the work which is done by another person. Instead of shooting down and bringing people down, using a lot of your energy to discredit, to criticize, you use that energy to build on the effort of other people. Mother Teresa tells us, you cannot do it alone. So when people do something, and when you give credit to what they have done, you are a leader without title. That is the first principle. Recognizing, appreciating, giving credit where it is due. And that does not come out of the air. It comes from your moral compass. Moral compass in leadership is what defines a leader without title. The title is of no consequence. The funds, chief financial officer, whatever, call it chief. If you don't have a moral compass, you don't have awareness of knowing something good has been done, and my work is to make it better, to build it, to make it become a great result. And this is the theme of your conference. How do we apply ourselves as women to make a difference? And when we are talking about a difference, there must be a standard. And that standard must be high. Now I look at Tawca. How can an organization which started in 2015, you are closing to 1,000 members strong? It's credibility. Credibility. Credibility is another principle of a leader without title. Because the question we have, why should anyone be led by you? A big question. What gives you a license to lead another person? And there is a book, you can Google and you can get it, written by two professors from Harvard Business School. One of them is called Gerard. I can't remember the other one. And the title is, Why Should Anyone Lead You? I mean, why should anyone be led by you? A very controversial title. And this takes me now to what kind of skills do we need to have so that we stand and without title, we are respected, we are dignified without title. What are those skills? And this is what takes me now to emotional intelligence, my dearest subject. Because if you look at emotional intelligence, the gist of it, it is ability to inspire high performance, great results in the people that you lead. Forget about title. Do you have that ability to inspire? Tawca, you have inspired, certified and non-certified. You have inspired the sponsors. I look around. Each time I come to meet with Tawca, there are a number of sponsors. The ability to inspire comes from ability to build relational capital. Mtaji mahusiano. Relational capital, you cannot value it in money. You are accountants. You value everything. But relational capital, you cannot value it. The relational capital, Tumaini, the executive director, has with me, it cannot be quantified. Neema has with me, it cannot be quantified. And my friend Siriel Mchem, soon to be a doctor, working on a subject which is very, very passionate to us, women empowerment. Did I know her? She's younger than me, obviously. Tumaini can fit it to be my daughter, obviously. What informs that relational capital? And emotional intelligence is telling us that. What informs that relational capital? Why did I get hooked to Tumaini? Tumaini, I'm sorry I'm using your example. Why did I get hooked? One of the next principles of a leader without a title, they don't talk about other people. They don't shoot other people down. Tumaini taught me leadership without title. She has never had a conversation which is petty, which is personalized. She talks about Tawca at a very dignified level. And you can see the results of that. So when I saw you are talking about the leadership without title, how can women inspire great results? Already you have inspired great results. When you start talking about people, you become trivial. And this world is not interested on trivial talk. It is interested in people who set the agenda. Tawca, you are setting the agenda. They are not interested on your GPA, your technical skills. Yes, we need them. But how does your presence inspire others? And this takes me to a third, very important skill after the relational capital. Your personal authority. If everything is taken from you, what will make you stand. And when you look at personal authority, for the women accountant, you are very lucky. I think you have to say thank you, God, now. Can you say thank you, God? Thank you, God. Because one element of of the personal authority is expertise. Intellectual. What is your intellectual authority? For you, your career, your certification gives you that authority. So it means if I were to stand with Neema Kiure, she's a mile apart from me if we are starting a profession together. Because I come from a profession which does not have certification. I'm a social scientist. Neema will have a mileage ahead of me because in the element of the personal authority already, she has the intellectual authority, the expertise authority. And what does that expertise authority gives you? The power of analysis. It gives you the power of setting agenda in a room. Your signature has power. So that kind of an element in your profession makes me wonder, why should anyone feel small? Unajidogosha kwa sababu gani? Wakati your signature is dignified and it is not a self-promotion dignity. It is given. Given after people recognizing you are there. Let's clap for ourselves. Because no doubt that element of personal authority, you have it. How are you using it? How are you rising to a challenge? How are you making your presence felt? I'll give you a bit of my background. At the age of 28 years, I was serving in board of directors. So the question is, with such a young age, how did I get there? At 31, I was in the committee of the Arusha Regional Management, brushing shoulders with RPCs, the RCs, and whatever. How? And my trajectory continued to be like that. 2010, you can calculate, I turned 50. So you can add up, you can know how old I am. And I was preparing to come here. Somehow a small notebook came to the surface. I was in Washington, D.C. And some of the things that I wrote in that small notebook, I was auditing myself. I've turned 50. My children are doing well. I have a loving husband. I have fostered a career that is respected. My question was, am I living my full potential? It was a very poignant question. Am I living my full potential? 3 pages I wrote that night. And in those 3 pages, I was able to travel deep inside myself and realize I was not applying myself fully. that realization came in the basement of our of our ambassador's residence. My sister was the ambassador at that particular time. So when the firecrackers were going on, Zuhura Muro was auditing herself. Seriously. But when I was auditing myself, there was another question I asked myself. What is holding me back? So I audited my fears. Because you cannot be a leader without title unless you have audited yourself. What is it holding me back? And I was able to identify the things that were holding me back. I realized I was endowed with certain qualities that I was not espousing. I realized I was like a candle that could be lit and be out there and shine other people. I was not using it. I realized I had an influencing power. I was not using it. I realized I was born educator and developer of other people. I was not using it. When I audited myself that night, I asked another question. What if I die this night? What will I respond to my Maker when my Maker asked me, what did you give to life? I felt cold in my spine because my story was very small. Then I asked another question. What if my Maker gives me another 50 years? And that was the map I created in Washington, D.C. And that map is the one that I'm applying now. That map is the one which gave me the courage to say, Tawca, I'm going to be there for you. And it is not only Tawca. I finish here. Tomorrow I'm flying to Zanzibar. Human resources passionate. I'm going to power another professional network. Because in that night, I knew I'm not applying myself properly. How do I position myself so that I can inspire before I expire? And who do I want to inspire? What kind of seeds do I want to plant? Some of them to germinate in my lifetime. And others will germinate later. Still, there will be my seed. Then my story will be good. So the first audit was on the intellectual capacity. How am I applying myself? I've been given this intellectual capacity. I've been given this influence, and I can set agenda. I can redirect. And that's what has made me able to make a lot of transformation in the organizations that I serve. Organizations that invite me to provide governance because of that ability to apply my intellectual capacity to set agenda, to set direction. At Washington, D.C. basement, I realized I was not using it. So I came back to Tanzania with a mission. And that mission is what gave me the ability to serve in so many spaces. That mission made me meet Tumaini, Sirieli, and others. When Sirieli invited me to work with her to support the then Vice President of the United Republic of Tanzania, I said Labeka, because I had already thought about it. You get what I mean, eh? Yeah. So, a leader without title, self-awareness, self-reflection, self-knowledge. In the scripture we are told, Prophet Moses, peace be upon him, the first day he saw a fire burning in a bush, and he went, and God called, Musa, you are in the presence of your Lord. God Almighty asked him, what are you carrying in your hand? Of course, God can see it was a stick. And Musa responded, my stick. Then Musa went on, I use it to bring fodder down for my folks, to lean on, and so on. Oh. Musa had a stick. And the scripture, the way they go, that stick is the one which released the Israelites from a 400 years of bondage in slavery. Your professional mastery is your stick. How are you using it? When you realize you have such a strong, and God is speaking to you every day, that's when you start leading from inside out, because it will inform you. What is the second element of personal authority? It is physical. Physical authority. God created you to be a victor. Failure is your choice. He gave you the casket for your soul, fashioned it with the master artistry. That is the best. No human being. You have a beauty. You have a presence. That presence, how are you using it? How are you managing your body language so that your body language gives you the leadership presence that is required on the stage as a woman leader? But to manage that physical presence, you must have awareness. And awareness comes from your self-appreciation. How do you appreciate yourself? Are you every day beating yourself down? Saying, I'm too fat. My hips are a little bit too big. Which leads you to mkorogo. My complexion is not right. Foolish. Don't do that. Because already the greatest artist has created us to provide a leadership presence in this world. And this leadership presence, controlled, is the one which gives you that dignified leading without a title. Anywhere you enter, people sees you as a leader. Forget about the junk theory of dressing professionally, power dressing. It is how you carry yourself. You may have a power dress code, but you are carrying yourself in a way that you don't espouse leadership qualities. Sijui menipata. If you go to the fashionista of this world, they'll tell you, ushungi is not professional. Si ndio, eh? She has shown us. It is you. How are you toning your body to have that presence? Because that is one and first window of people trusting you. Just take a moment. Think about Graça Machel. Think about Mrs. Obama. 8 years in the White House. Look her presence. Look how her hair will be managed. Just remember, 8 years. Graça Machel, look. Your physical presence as a professional woman is not supposed to be today you have hair like peacock. Tomorrow, people will start asking questions. Are you getting what I'm saying? People must know your authority, your physical authority, might be able to anticipate your physical authority. It's not like, how is she going to appear today? That is not a physical authority. Look, audit all leaders who espouse physical authority. Mwalimu Nyerere is known for, you remember, they are called, I don't know what, Chonlai. Mandela shirts. That does not come out of air. It is self-knowledge. Sijui menipata, eh? Self-knowledge. My work takes me a lot on a center stage. I'm made of very beautiful hips. My cat, God assigned the best angels to create it. I know it. Why? Because I have audited myself and I have appreciated myself. So from that appreciation, I say, okay, how will my physical presence create distraction in a room like this, full of men? I audited myself. You get what I mean? After that auditing, I said, okay, I'm going to wear long dresses. Choice. If I wear trousers, they are going to be not tight. Those are choices, physical presence. So, you can see. What is happening? If you don't manage your physical presence, they will look at your legs. You understand? The focus will be what? Very white, round legs. You get what I mean? Then your intellectual authority, because they have already gone somewhere else. You get what I mean? Yes. So I prevent that intentionally. Intentionally. Managing your physical appearance is critical in leadership. And it gives you that. You get into a committee, and immediately they say, we want you to be the chair. We want you to be the vice chair. We want you to... Why? They are not focusing on your round legs or your round hips. They are focusing on your power as a lady. So that is the second one. The third one emotional authority. And in your brochure, you have put in empathy. You have put in quite a number of things. Emotional authority, it's a very important aspect of your personal authority. And when I'm talking to women leaders, normally I have sessions that I call Women in Leadership Kitchen Party. I tell them, your emotional authority is informed by the choices that you have made. And the choices that you have made must be intentional choices that you have made. On September 7th, 1985, in my honeymoon room, it was Bahari Beach, I told this guy, have entered into this covenant of marriage with my full capacity. If you think it's going to be temporary, umeumia. So, the message I'm giving you, my dear man, don't rush. We are going to have a night. I'm going to be with you. Come thick, come rain, come sunshine. But my space must be respected. And that's how I built profession, because I defined very early. And I told him, you are going to be my number one support system. And to be my number one support system, it means you must weigh in. Lazima uvute nguvu ku bring up a family. Hadithi ya kwamba mimi nitafanya kila kitu inaishia hapa kwenye hiki chumba. Serious. We had a very informed. And what I have noticed with our daughters, you are not having intentional conversation with the people who impact your emotional well-being and your psychological well-being every day. They impact your emotional and psychological well-being every day. Psychological and emotional stability starts from the relationships that you have. Now the question is, what if that relationship goes sour? And it is becoming a challenge. You have a choice. You can be a self-pity. You can think you have failed and go into depression. You can beat yourself to pulp and say, my life has stopped. Who told you your life has stopped? Emotional personal authority, it's accountable. Accountable to your own feelings. A woman is but her thoughts. The way you think will define your exterior. If your thoughts are negative, are pessimistic, your thoughts, I want to shoot down Neema, I want to shoot down Cyril, it won't help you. Utakuwa joka la mdimu tu. Si mnafahamu hiyo hadithi? Joka la mdimu. Anagonga kila mtu lakini hali ndimu. Or in English, you become a dog in a manger. A dog in a manger does not allow a cow to eat grass. When the cow tries to eat grass, the dog goes, woof, woof, woof. But the dog does not eat grass. I've seen so many professional women who shut down their career because of emotional instability. And emotional instability tells you if you shoot somebody down, you build yourself. Forget. You create your own grave. The number of people you uplift give you kick to go higher. I'm repeating it. The number of people you uplift every day, they become your kick to take you to the higher space. So emotional stability helps you that, because you will stop being judgmental, you stop being a shooter of progress. So personal authority, intellectual, you have it. Physical, you are so beautiful, well created, fashioned by the best artist, God. Emotional, God balanced you. When you were created, God called the angels and say, prostrate. Because this human being I have created, I have balanced this human being. Then I have breathed in my breath. You are carrying the breath of God. What can make you feel small with all this? Breathing now and breathe out and say, thank you, God, because you have all the 4 elements. But there is a last element, the 3 elements. The last element is formal. Some of you, in the organizational structure, you are sitting in a very nice box. Some of you are partners in your firm. That is a form of authority. How are you using that form of authority to build others? If you are a professional critic, kila kilichofanywa na mtu mwingine hakifai, you are not a leader without title. That form of authority, you are not using it properly. 2022, January, on the 28th, Her Excellency appointed me to be the chairperson of TTCL, the first ever, the first woman to lead TTCL. And when I was appointed, there were so many people who sent me messages. This, that. If you go there, someone has to go out. If you go, then I said, these people, they want to lock me in what is called confirmation bias. That Anna is bad. John is useless. I said, no. I'm an adult. I know what I'm going to do. That form of authority in our public sector, wrong. You are supposed to be called Mheshimiwa. Why? You are appointed by the Commander-in-Chief. I go to TTCL building, the first visit. Then I'm told the elevator, the lift that rides you to 12th floor, has to be reserved for Mwenyekiti alone, because Mwenyekiti is so important, Mheshimiwa, she cannot ride with other people. But when I pinched myself, I realized I'm a person, and they're also people. I said, no, I want to ride with everybody. When I go down there, I have people rushing, want to carry everything I'm carrying. I say, no, I'm carrying my briefcase myself. I stayed for 3 hours. I said, I want to go to washroom. I was given a key. I said, no, where do you go to washroom when you want to go to washroom? want to go to the washroom, you go to. Immediately the culture has changed. I used my formal authority to dictate how I want leadership to be seen in that organization. Vyama vya wafanyakazi wanakuja wananiambia, mama, watu sura ni zile zile lakini wamebadilika. So, this subject, leadership without a title, it's very, very important subject. And in the women in boards, I normally teach leadership presence. Audit yourself. When you walk into a boardroom, what kind of presence are you creating? Make sure that you are intentional. Mmenielewa, eh? Make sure that you are intentional what kind of presence you are creating. But that presence must be backed by being well versed on the subject matter. And when you are well versed on the subject matter, I'll tell you with my experience, my profile is reading 30 years. I'm standing here, I have 39 years of work experience. And I have told you I started working in the boardroom when I was 28. How does the Member of Parliament of Arusha constituency respect me as a 28-year-old lady? How does the RPC respect me? It is the quality of the information that I pass around the table. You may have very well versed information. The manner of passing it has also to be equally strong. Wenzetu wa ile jinsia nyingine can be an empty sack, but when they present, they have a way they do it. And what I have noticed, the way they are very passionate about what they are bringing on the table. They are very enthusiastic about what they are putting across as ideas. They are very guarded in terms of guarding what they believe in. Sasa, because us, our presence is ya kujidogosha, we don't have that magnet. That magnet is very important. And when you are well versed, another thing that you need to do to be a leader without a title is to be politically savvy. What is political savviness? And it is in the emotional intelligence, ability to perceive, ability to understand the dynamics around your leadership. I never get into a boardroom as a chairperson of any board, being it is in East Africa or in Tanzania, in the private sector or in the public sector, before I have garnered 60 to 75% support on a motion that I want to pass. I know my wakorofi. I manage them outside the boardroom. By the time we come to the boardroom, I have managed the dynamics. That is political savviness. Immediately after I was appointed the chairperson of TTCL, I was in US. Mimi ni bibi, kwa nacheza na wajukuu. I enrolled online course on the advancement in telecommunication. I was in telecommunication until 2007. Mama appoints me 2022. Technology has moved. So I had to verse myself. Then I identified someone in Tanzania, a technical mentor. I landed, I went to class. And one of the class I went with my husband. And he was amazed the kind of questions I was asking. Because I had enrolled online course, I was at the forefront of the questions that I wanted to ask. Then, I needed an administrative mentor. I picked someone who has been in the government for a long time, Balosefue. I went to him, I said, nimepewa hili shirika, tell me the dynamics. Mawaziri wakija na mbwembwe zao nifanyeje? You get it, eh? Kwa sababu politicians have short-term interest. Nikamaliza hapo. My own money. I flew to Dodoma. Kituo cha kwanza, Chamwino. Political mentor wangu yuko pale. Relational capital. Alikuwa introduce na nani? Marehemu baba mkwe wangu. Ukizungumza mtu anayejua uvungu wa politics ni huyo mzee. Nilikuwa naongea naye anasinzia pia kwa sababu ameshakuwa mtu mzima. Lakini madini niliyotoka nayo pale ya kuua mtu. Recognizing hizo relational capital. Sasa walivyoanza maadui kunishuti, hawakujua nimetengeneza safety net. Umenipata, eh? Hiyo ndio presence, political savviness, relational capital, how you are leveraging it. Does it require effort? Absolutely yes. And I'll say yes and yes. Lazima we invest. Yani ningetokea ghafla bin vu Chamwino kwa yule political mentor wangu. Lakini nilikuwa nimemtupa hiyo miaka yote, nilikuwa introduce na baba mkwe wangu ambaye ameshatangulia mbele ya haki. Angenisikiliza. Nimestay current na yeye. Na spend money. Mzee umekuja Dar es Salaam. Na kuomba kuna dina muhimu kweli. Ile dina sinalipia Serena. Yes, you invest kujenga relational capital. Na unaweza ukaitoa kitu. Ukaambiwa hiki kitu tunatangaza lakini tunakuita wewe kwanza. Relational capital. So, a leader without a title must be aware of the importance of thriving to be the best version of yourself. Lastly, 2010, it was a time I was asking myself, is this the best version I can demonstrate? You are a work in progress. There is no destination of being your best version of yourself. Work on it. Look for people who will brace to wake up at 2:00 a.m. to help you achieve your objective. Tumaini has done that. Look for people you can address by first name. They are high there, but you can call them by first name because of the quality of relationship you have built. These people will open impossible corridors for you. They'll speak where you cannot be. They'll promote you. They'll build you. They'll refer you. They'll push you. How much have you invested? It's your reflection. This conference gives you that reflection. And lastly, power others. Power others. God will power you. Thank you very much.
nani mwenzangu? Mi ni mama. Wewe ni nani mwenzangu? Mimi ni kani. Taifa linanitegemea, watoto wananitegemea, mimi ni mama.
Thank you very much Mama Zuhura. Naona watu walikuwa kimya, nikajua kila mtu anajitafakari tena sasa. Sasa ni ule muda ule wa maswali. Nadhani Mama Zuhura yuko tayari kuyapokea mpaka muishiwe kiu yenu. Karibuni sana. Karibuni, nani anatuanzishia maswali? Kiswahili, Kiingereza, unavyojisikia huru. Kichaga pia amesema leo ruksa. Tumaini, tutafute mtu wa kuzungusha microphone. Kama kuna microphone mezani, anza tu.
Good morning, beautiful ladies. Thank you, Mama Zuhura, so much for the very nice presentation. My name is Farida Khamisi from TPA. I just wanted to ask one question, and actually learning from you. How did you manage having a very successful family with a very successful leadership, and I can see yourself as a very fit woman, mashallah. May God bless you. Natamani sana kujua umemanage vipi vitu hivi vyote mama. Tafadhali unaweza kutupa ratiba yako ya siku? Asante sana.
Farida, the second question. Kama kuna mkono siuoni. Mama Miriam, unaruhusiwa pia kuuliza na wewe. Naona unacheka kwa chini. Karibu.
Thank you very much. My name is Donasia from TPN Tax. Asante mama kwa a very good presentation. Mimi swali langu liko kwenye swala la emotional intelligence. Women are known to be emotional beings compared to men. Men think logically, we think emotionally. Umetuelezea vizuri sana kwenye kutengeneza safety net, and you've given a very good example when you're to attend a board meeting, you tend to manage your political network very well before you go in. So I wanted to know, there's in scenarios where you're caught off guard in a meeting, probably you're in a room full of men and you're caught off guard, and as you know, we are emotional beings. How do you manage that? Na nadhani kwa sababu wanaume wameshajua hilo kuhusu sisi, sometimes they tend to provoke or to push us to our limits ili zile emotions zetu zitoke waweze kuturudisha chini. So can you please just expound more on managing our emotions when we are pushed to our limits, given that we're emotional beings? Asante sana.
Nasia, at the back please, karibu. Nyuma kule.
Asante. Mimi naitwa Josephine Kulwa, niko benki ya NMB. Langu ni kwa kweli sina swali, sana sana ni kumpongeza Madam Zura Muro kwa good presentation, na kwa kweli nimejifunza mengi sana leo, na ninamuomba Madam Muro kutokana na kile alichonacho basi asisite anapopata mialiko kutoka kwenye various women forums kuja kuendelea kutu empower na kutupa kitu cha ziada ambacho kitatusaidia zaidi. Asante.
Thank you very much for that. Kulikuwa kuna mikono miwili kule nyuma pia. Karibu.
Asante. Mimi naitwa Agnes Kuhenga, natokea taasisi ya moja kaya Kikwete. Nitaka kujua kwenye kuwa physical well, unatakiwa ufanye mazoezi, ule good diet. Sasa kwenye kuwa ili uwe emotional health, unatakiwa ufanye nini on a daily basis? Asante.
Thank you Agnes. Karibu. Matano hayo, nadhani matano tutampa ruhusa kwanza ayajibu.
Asante, naitwa CPA Ruth Rubagora kutoka St. John's University of Tanzania, Dodoma. Mimi nilifurahishwa sana na issue ya kujiaudit. Nilikuwa namuomba mwezeshaji atusaidie kupata dondoo chache ambayo itatupa mwongozo wa namna ya kufanya self auditing. Asante.
Thank
Asanteni sana kwa maswali mazuri, na nafikiri kwamba hii itatusaidia kwamba tuwe na conversation. Mnaniruhusu nikae? Okay, sawa. Basi hii ni conversation nzuri. Nianze na swali ambalo limeulizwa na Farida Hamisi TPA. How did you manage kubalance career na success katika leadership? Na akaomba pia apate ratiba yangu. Huwa naanzaje siku na naendaje na siku and so on. Farida, nakushukuru sana. Kama nilivyosema, conversation yangu ya kwanza ilianza katika honeymoon room yangu, na nikawa nimemwambia mume wangu kwamba wewe utatakuwa my support system number 1. As a woman professional, nilijua kabisa kwamba bila support system ambayo iko very clear, hutaweza kuadvance in your career. Na nikaamua kwamba support system yangu itakuwa ni watu ambao wako trusted. Na one of the support system, kama nilivyosema, was my husband. But also I had other support system. And this will amaze you. My mother-in-law was my biggest support system. Even to leave a very lucrative job to start my own business, she was behind me. So I can tell you some of the support systems ambazo zimetokea. But I come from a family ambayo pia bahati nzuri wanajitambua. My sisters are support system to me, and so on. And we are support system for each other. So for example, even the schools that we send our children will be the similar school. If one parent cannot go, another parent will go. So our children had our constancy. Our children, normally they tell us, you are like a pride of lioness because you brought us. They can fit anywhere. In the hands of my sister, my children are very comfortable. Their children in my hands, they are very comfortable. So that's how we create a support system to make sure that we advance. And Farida, my sisters, they are also quite phenomenal in their professions because we learned to be supported to one another. So that was one of the secrets. Then second secret was also to know where my power comes from. My power comes from my family. If family is not functioning well, you cannot be successful in your career. So I carved out quality time with my children, my husband. I carved out time to go vacationing. Even where I am now as a retired officer, the people I work with, some of them sitting on a very high echelon of our government, they respect that space. So sometimes I work with the government in online from New Jersey when I'm with my first son family. I'm working with Dodoma, but I'm sitting in New Jersey. You can imagine if you can convince the government to work with you, the parliament to work with you when you are very far away, it means you have carved your space. And that space, if you don't carve it yourself, nobody is going to give you. In the telecoms industry, because I was in the senior management team when the mobile telephony came to Tanzania, my MD was a German guy. You know German, how they demand great results. I went to him. I said, Gerard, I know you are not married, you are not planning to marry, you are not planning to have children. But I just want to let you know, I have 2 precious children. And they are my purpose. If you call a meeting between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock, I won't be there. Because that time is for my son. My other son was in boarding school already. I had given myself intentionally, if I'm in Dar, I drop the child in school. I give him a hug. I tell him, you are the best. At 1 o'clock, I'm at its gate. I pick him, I take him to my home. We eat together. He tells me about the school. I start him on his assignment. I ask him to have a nap. I put him in bed, I kiss him, I go back to work. But reporting to job, I'll report at 7. So I have 7 to 8 when other people are not there. I have done my 1 hour. So my MD cannot demand because I'm doing the hours that you want and I'm delivering great results. Vacationing. I make sure that I have vacation. I go with my family only. Women, sometimes you are too generous. You are over empathetic. You have extended family and you try to fit it everywhere. Don't do that. Your children are your project. That extended family, they have another person who is taking care of that project. Don't deny your children your space by fitting in too much. Don't I have other people I have fitting in my life? I have. But I had compartmentalized my time. How is my day? My day starts with an hour of power. I've shared with you. I start with a very deep gratitude. In Islam, we call it dhikri. Then, 20 minutes, I go to physical, toning my body. 20 minutes, I occupy my brain with inspired discussion, internal dialogue, or I listen to inspired discussion. My calendar, if you look at it, it will blow your mind. Monday, I was in Karatu, inspiring other people. I flew back on Tuesday. Yesterday, fully engaged into a committee of a government. Get home, 8 o'clock, extraordinary board meeting with TPDC where I sit as a director. The document we were working on was supposed to be with the Treasury Registrar before 12 o'clock at night. That meeting went until 11:45. I slept for 4 hours. 2 o'clock I was up to the airport. I'm here. As I'm here, I'm planning my mentorship program with CRDB women, which I'm launching with the support of other mentors, including men. But tomorrow at 9, I'm flying to Zanzibar to strengthen the human resource profession. From there, I'll sleep for a few hours. I fly to Arusha to go to the conference which the president has called for all the parastatals. I'm supposed to speak in that conference. I'm preparing that speech. So, Farida, still I tell myself I have not applied myself fully. So that is question number 1. Emotional intelligence. When you are caught off guard. First, I want to debunk your theory. All human beings are emotional creatures. And men should not even deceive us. They're even over emotional than us. Tell me, who engage in physical fight more often than women? Men. And they emotional? Simenipata fujo zote ukizisikia, kutunishiana miusuli, hata nkuku, majogoo ndio yanapigana. Mshawahi kukuta mtetea wanapigana? Hata simba, madume ndio yanapigana. Si mmenipata? Who is more emotional? So, when you are caught off guard, if you are not prepared, you are going to be a sacrificial lamb. And the preparation comes from what you are telling yourself. Self-awareness. The value you have assigned yourself. The peace of mind you have attributed to your brain. I can tell you, nobody can derail you if you start your day with telling yourself how great you are. I'll tell you a story. When I was leading KCB Bank, time came, we wanted to hire a new MD. My political savviness told me that the group had their own person they wanted to bring to Tanzania. And I didn't want. I called the group CEO, I said, you don't choose MD for me. And he said, what? I said, yes. You don't choose MD for me. He's going to report to the board. I'll be the one who would give the last say who comes to this bank. He said, huh? How can you say that? I said, yes. In the grand scheme of banking industry in Tanzania, you are a non-entity as a group CEO. I'm the one. If this bank perform, it's me. If this bank goes south, I'll go behind bars. Because I was cleared by the Bank of Tanzania. You are not cleared by the Bank of Tanzania. You are non-entity. Umesikia, eh? Yeah. I called the shot. Akasema, the person you want to employ is not in good books with the president. I said, is he reporting to the president? Give me a break. I said, but it will affect the bank. I said, okay, come to Tanzania. We shall walk together to the president's office. I'm sending investigators to investigate the guy you want to hire. I said, when you arrive with your investigators at the Dar es Salaam International Airport, you will disappear. You don't know what will make you disappear. When I finished talking to him over the phone, I said, hivi Zuhura, unajua kudisappear watu? Unaweza ukamfanya mtu akadisappear? Lakini I was roaring like a tigress. I employed who I wanted. Leo, KCB Group, 128 years of the history of KCB Group. First time in their history, Mtanzania ndio number 2. Haijawahi kutokea. Hakuna foreigner yoyote alioccupy. Yule mtu aliniambia atakuja kuinvestigate, ndio sasa hivi group ime. Because I know talent when I see it. Wewe utakujaje kuhaya mtu ambaye sio ambaye mimi anaripoti kwangu. Kwa hivyo sina emotion. Yes, nina emotion, lakini I'm intentional. Kwa hivyo wanawake, mnatakiwa muingie kwenye leadership arena with intention. Every word you are going to utter must come from an intentional reservoir. Lakini ukiwa unazungumza tu, ndio hapo unaambiwa yule hajimanage. Kwa hivyo wao ni more emotional than us, na ndio maana huyo mtu alikuwa ananitunishia misuli, anaambia atatuma investigators. Hajui kwamba mimi ni mjanja. We are a sovereign country. Hana nchi inayotuma investigator kwenye nchi nyingine bila kupitia process. Ananitisha nini? Akaenda akamwambia group chairman, yule mwanamke simuwezi. Group chairman akafly akaja Dar es Salaam. Amefika Dar es Salaam Serena, akasema alikuletea pilipili ya Nairobi, akakuta ya Dar es Salaam inawasha zaidi. Mpo? You have to know your worth. Si ndio eh? Dada, ulikuwa ni dada nani? Donisia. Nimekujibu. Haya. Josephine, kweli usiwe na shaka. Hata NMB niko nao. Hakuna mahali ambapo kuna discussion ya women in leadership. Kitengo changu kinachoitwa Lindam Academy, tuna a referral center for women. Female talent haionekani kirahisi. Sisi kama Lindam Academy tumejitolea kwamba tunataka ionekane. Na sasa hivi niko kwenye mchakato wa kuanzisha Women in Board Tanzania, ili niweze kupushwa wanawake wengi waingie kwenye decision making. Kwa hivyo hiyo, Josephine, usiwe na wasiwasi. Agnes Jakaya Mrisho Kikwete Heart Institute. Yes, ili uweze kupata nguvu ya physical kuna vitu unatakiwa kufanya. Ili uweze kupata nguvu ya emotion na ukapata emotional stability, lazima ulishe your psychological being. Unalishaje psychological being? Kwanza ni ujitambue. Pili, uhakikishe vikombe vyako vimejaa. Kuna vikombe 6. Kikombe cha kwanza ni personal goals. Lazima uwe na personal goal na ushughulikie hiyo personal goal yako. Maana usipokuwa na personal goal, utaenda kupawa personal goals za watu wengine. Pili, self love. Jipende sana tu. 3, peace of mind. 4, joy. Wakati TTL inapigwa madongo, mna watu mnaowadai hamwajui. I know the truth. Idi imekuja, ingia boat, niko zangu Zanzibar, Emerald Retreat area na jet ski. Unajua mapikipiki ya baharini? I have done the right thing. Nimeenda kujipa emotional fortitude. Social media, kuna watu ambao hawa contribute 0.005 kwenye GDP ya Tanzania. Akiamka anaudenda, yuko kwenye social media, ana shoot people down. Why should I pay attention to them? Nimesema ubongo wangu ni so sacred, sitapangisha mpangaji ambaye hanilipi rent. Pigeni kelele huko kwenye social media. I want to put you in my brain. My brain is so sacred. I don't give you pango kwenye na evict hao wapangaji wapuuzi. Naendelea mbele. Najua ninachochapa, kazi ninayotaka kuichapa. I want TTCL to be a world class telecommunication corporation. Sasa hivi distraction hapa vidogo vidogo nikivintertain nitafikisha hiyo world class. Na nimeshapewa marching order, fungua subsidiaries nje. Tunaunganisha DRC through Kalemi. Sasa huku nakuja kuongea na mtu ambaye anaongea vitu vya kipuuzi huku. Mtaweza kweli kuwa convince World Bank wa put in money? Tukavuka. Nataka kuongeza mikongo zaidi. Mkienda huku mtaweza. So, ukiwa a woman leader, you must know where you are putting your focus. Kwa hivyo emotional health inatokana na the choice you make every day. Ni nani unayetaka kumpangisha kwenye ubongo wako na ni nani unayetaka kumevict. Lazima umevict na umevict immediately. Ruth, kujiaudit. Template ya kujiaudit niachieni na Tumaini. Mtawatumia Tawca, wapenzi wangu. Asanteni.
Sana. Nadhani wameridhika, sioni mikono. Nimeona tu wakitingisha vichwa. Glory Commissioner, kuna swali hapo? Karibu Commissioner.
Asante. Hello. Hello? Yeah. Nishukuru sana kwa presentation. Tumejifunza mengi hakika. Tulikuwa tunanong'ona na wenzangu hapa. Tumepata kujua vikombe 4, 2 vilikuwa bado. Tulikuwa busy tunachukua notes. Asante.
Nimewa short change. Kikombe cha 5 ni kikombe kinachoitwa self pampering. Wanawake kama tulivyosema, sisi ni muhimu sana. Tunawashughulikia watu wote lakini tunajisahau sisi. Na saa ingine wakati tunawashughulikia watu wengine tukitaka kupumzika tuna feel guilty. Na hiyo imetufanya mpaka wakati mwingine kuna maradhi ambayo tungeweza tukayajua mapema tunayagundua yakiwa stage 4. Kwa sababu hatujishughulikii. Wangapi mnafanya medical check-up mara 2 kwa mwaka? Wangapi mnafanya medical check-up mara 1 kwa mwaka? Wachache sana. Self pampering inatuambia to audit our health regularly. Mimi nina miaka 63 plus. Si ndio? Simezagi panado. Kwa sababu health yangu ni mtaji wangu. Nafanya medical check-up mara 2 kwa mwaka. Nikitoka hapa nina personal massage therapist ambaye anashughulikia mwili wangu utone.
Makofi jamani, sio mshangao.
$60 ni nini kama unafanya kazi? Let the money work for you. Si umenielewa eh? Yeah. Hiyo ndio pampering. Pampering sio kwenda kukaa salon, kwenda kuotesha nywele kwa masaa 6 peke yake. Kuna vitu vingine pia. Sijui umenielewa eh? Kwa hivyo jifunze kujipampa, jifunze kupumzika, jifunze kupata time ya reflection, jifunze kupata time ya kushughulikia mwili wako. Ni hekalu ambalo Mungu amekupa. Na mwisho kile kikombe Commissioner ni gratitude. Gratitude ni shukrani. Huo mwaka 2010 nilikuta hicho kitabu changu nimeweka what I'm grateful for. Nikaanza. Wazazi wangu ambao walikuwa ni excellent. Ndugu zangu ambao wananipenda. Mume wangu ambaye ni very loving. Watoto wangu ambao ni adjusted and very responsible. Support system yangu ambayo yuko they are ready to die for me. Dereva wangu is ready to die for me. Saa yote ile anaamka for me. Nikaja. Waliotambua vipaji vyangu. Nikamshukuru Mungu kwa hiyo. Yaani list ikawa ni ndefu, imeenda peji 2. Kila siku jioni tengeneza kitu kinachoitwa gratitude reflection. Hicho kikombe chako kijae. Asante.
Asante Mama Cyril. Utakuwa wa mwisho kwa leo.
Hello. Madam Zuhura Muro, I don't have any question, but I would like to compliment and appreciate what you have said. indeed you are a lady in this nation that everybody wants to listen. You know, I've heard about your topics more than 5 times. I remember, you know, it took us while we were first deceased, and you told us a lot of things on emotional intelligence and other things. What I'm saying is that I wish one day you will create thousands of Zuhura Muro, and the nation will go on with the speed and with the people that are needed in the society. You know, women will still need to lift one another, but the devil planted a seed where when a woman is successful, the first person to criticize that woman is the other woman. But you are always teaching us to be powerful, to be together, to help one another, to appreciate one another, and of course, to make sure that whenever a person maybe goes astray, you'll be there to cover instead to propagate. So thank you very much. I wish to have a successful plan for your case, for your knowledge. I don't wish to miss such kind of a knowledge one day. Thank you, madam. Thank you very much, and may God continue to bless you. Asante.
Thank you very much for that conclusion, Madam Nchemba. Na sasa huo ule wakati wa kumshukuru mama. Nikukaribishe Darukia. Haitoi sauti. Mama Zura, tuna zawadi yetu ndogo. Tunataka tukukabidhi na atakukabidhi dada Rukia.
Nashukuru sana kwa zawadi dada Rukia na kila mtu. Asanteni, nyie ni maodita.
Picha yuko wapi?
Msini audit kwa hii zawadi, ina shilingi ngapi? Ina thamani gani msini audit? Asante. Nashukuru sana. Zawadi nzuri sana, asante. Okay. Asante sana. Sio sana, Mungu awabariki sana.
Kongamano hili la 4.
Tukimaliza kucheza tunaenda kwenye chai alafu tunarudi. Play.
Ni rasmi wa kongamano hili.
Chai dakika 20.
Karibuni, karibuni.